Hello, everyone. Welcome to Pastor Jerone TV. I'm your host, Pastor Jerone. Today is a great day to be walking with God and to be in the light of the Lord. Want to share a really disappointing story with you out of Kalamazoo, Michigan. Familiar story, right? It's a story of a fallen pastor. And these guys, they just have problems. And I always say this, that many of them have never been converted. Many of them have never, ever given their lives to Jesus Christ. Never. Not in a day. I think sometimes people get inspired. You know, the church, the choir sounding good. The preacher preaches good. And some people just feel good about giving themselves to God at that time. There was a guy in the book of Acts. His name was Bar Jesus. After Peter preached, he wanted to get what Peter had. But he was inspired. But he was never inspired to give his life to Jesus. Never. And I think a lot of people get inspired about ministry, working, doing good, but never giving their lives completely over to Jesus. And you have people that use scripture, misunderstood scripture, to glorify and sanction sin. You know, like he that is without sin cast the first stone, or all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. And there are two words in that scripture, all have sinned. Have and sinned, past tense. But let me read you this information. This pastor, his name is Strickland, and he's been around. I've kind of been seeing and hearing some stuff about him, but he's kind of avoided some things before. But now that he's been arrested for 11 counts of sexual activity with minors, he and his wife. His wife wasn't arrested, though, although she was the one who was sleeping with the kids. Both of them work at the school. He also has a job as a pastor. They have 8 children. I don't know how many of them have been adopted. I don't know if they're all their children or whatever. But these people have twisted, crazy perversions. And you'll have people like telling me, don't you do that. Don't you do, you know that thing from Color Purple. They try to put the little curse on you. You wait, you watch. You keep doing this stuff is going to happen to you. Watch. It's been 30-something years I've been walking with God. And I always say, when I say never, I mean never. I will never do anything like this. Ever. Ever. I love God too much and I love people. And so, look. So here's the news here. It says, Reverend Strickland has been charged with 11 felony counts involving child sexual assault and human trafficking, according to Kalamazoo County court records. Strickland faces 4 counts of third-degree sexual assault, 3 counts of child sexual abuse activity, and 4 counts of human trafficking of a minor for commercial sexual activity. Kalamazoo County 8th District Court records show. Strickland, a pastor of Second Baptist Church in Kalamazoo, previously denied allegations that he and his wife, Jasminique Strickland, paid teens for sex. These were boys. But if they were girls, both of them would probably still be in jail. And they have to make sure that they start emphasizing this stuff for both sexes, because these boys will be badly damaged. They're going to be damaged. They're going to have psychological and emotional problems. I guarantee you that. And they're going to need prayer and healing and counseling. All right. The pastor gave one of the boys his car and told him he can keep the car for longer if the pastor wanted to do something to the boy. So the pastor is a perverted punk. But he was just like that Jerry Falwell story I did a week ago or so, I think 2 weeks. This man, Pastor Strickland, Reverend, the right Reverend Strickland, he paid the boys to go in there with his wife while he watched. And he also wanted to do something to the boys himself. You see? It's crazy, man. It's crazy. This is why we need prayer. This is why we need great Bible teaching with sound doctrine. But the Bible said in the last days, they will not endure sound doctrine. They can't take sound doctrine, because sound doctrine, it points people back to Jesus, and Jesus wants to get rid of sin. And that's what most of these people do not want to get rid of. They don't want you to bother their sins. And if you don't bother their sins, they'll bring a friend and bring the whole family to the church. But if you start bothering people's sins, well, then we're going to keep the family far away from you. All right? And we'll hold back our tithes and donations. But when you do that, when you hold back your tithes and donations from a true ministry, from a ministry of power, from a ministry that God has sanctioned, you then are approving this type of stuff right here. You then are cursing the community with people like Reverend Strickland. Reverend Strickland. And there's people, there's churches in your community right now. Black, white, Asian, Chinese, Hispanic, with pastors just like this. The sex trafficking thing is a terrible demon. Sex trafficking has been in the news constantly for the last, 4 years? Since President Donald Trump has been in office and these folks are getting arrested. This guy's out of Michigan. And there was another guy over there in Detroit who was under Pastor Marvin L. Winans' church. And he was arrested for doing the same stuff. His wife was also arrested, and this woman's going to be arrested. What is going on? What is going on with this sexual stuff? You got the Pope, you got the Catholic Church, you have these American pastors who can't keep their hands off the children. And many of these sexually perverted perverts become pastors or get into the profession of teaching in these schools so they can have easy access and the trust of the parents to get at the kids. Be very careful, people. Be careful into whose hands you're entrusting your children. Don't trust them because they have a title or a position. Don't do that. Make sure you vet these people. Ask the schools about their fingerprints. Ask the schools about their backgrounds. Okay? Be a vigilant and diligent parent when it comes to the care and oversight of your children. Because God's going to hold you accountable for that. God holds us accountable for that, and we have to be serious about that. This stuff ends up twisting people, and it twists them to the left. And there'll be some of these people out here parading against everything that's right because something happened to them. You understand? And so, but anyway, I just wanted to share that story with you. It's very dangerous that what these pastors are doing with the children. Very dangerous. And I'm glad that that President Donald Trump and his administration are cracking down on these types of people. They need to go to jail, and they need to be under the jail and never see the light of day. All right. God bless you. Leave your comments. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on the next video.